On Sunday, December 7th, 2003, the coastal town of Woombai on Queensland's Sunshine Coast was bathed in summer heat. 13-year-old Daniel Morcombe had a simple, joyful plan: get a haircut and buy some Christmas presents at the Sunshine Plaza shopping center. It was a completely ordinary routine task. Daniel walked to an unofficial bus stop under the Kill Mountain Road overpass. His parents, Bruce and Denise, would never see him again. The details of that afternoon are crucial. Daniel missed the 1:35 p.m. bus because it had broken down. When a replacement bus arrived, it didn't stop because the stop was unofficial and the driver was running late. Daniel was left standing alone. Witnesses reported seeing a car, a white sedan, pull up near the overpass. A man spoke to Daniel. Minutes later, when a second bus passed, the young boy was gone. The immediate, frantic search for Daniel Morcombe had begun, starting an 8-year odyssey that would become one of the largest and most complex police investigations in Australian history. For the Morcombe family, the next 8 years were defined by unrelenting grief and an unyielding commitment to finding their son. Police followed countless leads, interviewed hundreds of people, and combed vast areas of bushland. A suspect, Brett Peter Cowan, was interviewed early on. A former tow truck driver, he admitted to being in the area that day to buy drugs, but he offered an alibi that police initially found plausible, and he was, for a time, excluded from the pool of main suspects. As the years passed with no body and no confession, the case stalled. The Morcombes turned their tragedy into a mission, forming the Daniel Morcombe Foundation and campaigning tirelessly for child safety and answers. The breakthrough came years later, in 2010, when a coronial inquest was held. Testimonies given at the inquest revealed inconsistencies in Cowan's decade-old alibi, shining a new light on him. Finally, police had a justification they needed to launch one of the most remarkable covert operations ever deployed in Australia. This was a high-stakes, meticulously planned police operation known as Mr. Big. The goal was simple: get Brett Peter Cowan to confess. The operation began in 2011, and it played out like a Hollywood crime script. Undercover police officers, posing as members of a powerful nationwide criminal syndicate, befriended Cowan. They spent months building trust, offering him money, stability, and belonging. Cowan was lured to Perth, where he became involved in the fake criminal enterprise, taking part in staged jobs and receiving payment. The undercover officers constantly stressed the gang's core values: loyalty, honesty, and respect. The trap was set when Cowan was told he needed to meet the boss, the most powerful figure in the syndicate. In a secretly recorded meeting, the boss told Cowan that the gang could help him clean up a problem from his past, a big secret that could jeopardize the entire operation. But to do so, Cowan had to be completely honest. Believing he was confessing to a corrupt criminal who could make the problem disappear forever, Cowan confessed. He detailed how he had lured Daniel into his car, driven him to an abandoned demountable house near Glasshouse Mountains, and when Daniel fought back against the attempted assault, he had killed him. Crucially, Cowan then took the undercover officers to the remote, dense bushland where he claimed he dumped Daniel's body and belongings. This entire interaction, the chilling confession and the journey to the crime scene, was captured on video and audio. On August 13, 2011, 8 years after the abduction, police took Brett Peter Cowan into custody and charged him with murder. A week later, using Cowan's directions, forensic teams located Daniel's remains, including 2 shoes similar to the ones he wore that day, confirming the horrifying truth. The trial of Brett Peter Cowan began in the Brisbane Supreme Court in February 2014, drawing massive public and media attention. Cowan pleaded not guilty to all charges: murder, indecent treatment of a child, and interfering with a corpse. The prosecution's case centered entirely on the Mr. Big operation. They presented the chilling video confession and the audio recordings of Cowan leading the officers to the remains. DNA evidence confirming the found remains were Daniel Morcombe's was also compelling. The defense argued that the confession should be ruled inadmissible. They claimed that the confession was coerced and unreliable, Made by Cowan under the pressure of maintaining a lie to powerful figures in a criminal gang he desperately wanted to impress and be part of. The defense argued that the Mr. Big technique was so psychologically manipulative that it violated the rules of evidence. Ultimately, the trial judge allowed the evidence to be presented. After a 6-week trial, the 12-person jury retired to deliberate. On March 13, 2014, they returned a unanimous verdict, guilty on all counts. The following day, Justice Rosalind Atkinson sentenced Cowan to life imprisonment with a non-parole period of 20 years, stating that the nature of his crime warranted a harsher penalty than the minimum. The conviction of Brett Peter Cowan brought a measure of justice to Daniel's family, but the Morcombes did not stop there. They transformed their grief into one of Australia's most powerful child safety movements. The Daniel Morcombe Foundation educates millions of children and families on child safety, specifically teaching the message to recognize, react, and report. Their annual Day for Daniel event raises awareness across the country. Most recently, the family achieved a major legislative victory. The Queensland government passed Daniel's Law, which establishes a new 3-tiered public child sex offender register. This law, championed by Bruce and Denise for decades, gives parents and carers the ability to access information about high-risk offenders in their communities, putting the rights of children before those of predators. Daniel Morcombe's life was tragically cut short by an opportunistic act of evil. But his name will forever stand as a testament to the resilience of his family, the determination of law enforcement, and a powerful, enduring symbol of the fight for child safety across Australia.